Space launch trajectory countdown net. Pad is clear.
10, 9, 8.
Launch auto sequence has started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed. Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shiva Bharadwaj, and I'm a space operations engineer here at SpaceX. I'll be your host for SpaceX's 48th launch of 2022 and our 186th mission overall. Now, the teams are currently tracking no issues with the vehicle or the spacecraft. The weather and the range are both green for today's launch, and we're proceeding with a T-0 of 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time. As I mentioned, the range is currently green and ready to support liftoff just under 5 minutes from now. And in preparation for liftoff, we're standing by for the transporter erector to retract. And we just heard that call out there, and we'll expect to see the clamp arms retracting around the second stage. There you can see they've begun to open around the second stage in preparation for strong back retract. Today's mission also marks our 100th overall launch from Space Launch Complex 40 in Florida. You can see a shot of it here in the background, and it looks like a beautiful day to fly. Now we're just awaiting liquid oxygen loading complete on both the first and the second stage.
Stage 1 lock load complete.
Perfect timing. There's that call out. So with that, we have fully loaded our rocket propellant 1 fuel and our liquid oxygen on the first stage. We'll hear a similar call out for liquid oxygen loading complete on the second stage. And you can see some humidity forming around the first and second stage. That's totally normal as we're topping off the tanks. The cryogenic liquid oxygen we load is very cold, and it's causing clouds to form around the vehicle from that moist Florida air.
Stage 2 lock load complete.
So with that, we've got 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen on both the first and the second stage. And the booster you've got on your screen is flying for its 10th time today.
Ground closeouts has started.
With that call out, we're going to be venting some propellants from the transporter erector. Now, as I mentioned, this booster is flying for its 10th time, having previously flown the GPS-3 Space Vehicle 4 and 5 missions, Inspiration 4, Axiom 1, Nilesat 301, and 4 previous Starlink missions. We are planning to recover this booster on our drone ship named A Shortfall of Gravitas, which is currently stationed in the Atlantic Ocean.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
following liftoff and stage separation.
LD, go for launch. T-minus 30 seconds. Seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of Falcon 9. Go Starlink, go Falcon.
Vehicle 15 downrange.
Nominal power and telemetry.
The vehicle is supersonic.
So with that, Falcon 9 is traveling faster than the speed of sound.
AXQ.
And we've just passed through the point of maximum dynamic pressure that we'll feel during the flight.
Impact chill has begun.
So with that call out, we're about a minute away from main engine cutoff, stage separation, and then second engine start, followed shortly after by fairing deploy. Those events will happen back to back. And with the call out of MVAC chill starting up, that means we've begun chilling in those turbopumps in preparation for second engine start.
Nico. Stage separation confirmed. And vac ignition. Fairing separation confirmed.
So with that, those 4 events complete, we will be attempting to recover both these fairing halves, again to use on a future mission. If you're just joining us, we had an on-time liftoff from Space Launch Complex 40 at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time. On your screen, the right-hand side is our second stage, taking 54 Starlink satellites to orbit, and on the left-hand side of your screen is our first stage.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
First stage making its way back to our drone ship stationed off the coast of Florida and the Atlantic Ocean. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier that today marks SpaceX's 186th mission overall launch. And as I previously mentioned, it's the 10th flight for this first stage. It previously flew the GPS Space Vehicle 4 and 5 missions, Inspiration 4, Axiom 1, Nilesat 301, and 4 Starlink missions. The first stage's next major milestone will be its entry burn, where we will ignite 3 of the Merlin 1D engines.
Mid-flight guidance. Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
And the second stage still has a few minutes to go here, with second engine cutoff number 1 just after 8 minutes into the flight. We are flying 54 Starlink satellites into orbit today. Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed and low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations around the globe. Next major milestone coming up in about 20 seconds. That'll be the entry burn on the first stage.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 FTS is saved.
So with that, first stage has ignited 3 of its Merlin 1D engines to slow down for atmospheric reentry. This burn pretty quick, just about 20 seconds long.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Both stages are following nominal trajectories.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
So next major milestone here will be the landing burn start for the first stage. The sequence there will be landing burn start.
Stage 1 transonic.
So with that call out, the first stage is traveling near the speed of sound as it's transitioning through the Earth's atmosphere. Its landing burn to start in about 20 seconds, followed shortly after by landing leg deploy, and around that same time we'll hear a call out for second engine cutoff on the second stage.
Stage 1 landing burn.
So the first stage has lit 1 engine to prepare for landing on our drone ship, named a Shortfall of Gravitas on the right-hand side of your screen.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And back shutdown. Acquisition of signal to Finland.
So a few things called out there. First, Falcon 9 has landed. That marks the 40th landing of this year, 141st overall landing of a Falcon 9 first stage. Now, you also heard after that there was a successful second engine cutoff and a nominal orbit insertion. With the completion of today's launch, it marks SpaceX's 48th successful Falcon 9 mission of 2022. And as you can see now, our second stage is carrying 54 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. Now, if you're interested in following along with the deployment of those satellites,
Expected loss of
we
signal.
will continue
J6 and
to have
PPM.
our nets live on YouTube, and you can also follow our social media accounts for confirmation of deploy. Thanks a bunch for joining us today, and we hope you have a great day.